Empathic listening is the heart of all pastoral care and counseling work. Without the ability to really listen to another person, to really welcome them as a fellow human being, to understand that they're a suffering person who is coming to you for help, the rest of the work doesn't really matter. Listening is first. Open, responsive, and deeply caring listening is at the heart of everything that we do. So that's the first skill that we teach, how to listen.
I like that. How important is it to engage the student intellectually, emotionally, and practically in your courses, and how do you do it?
That's a longer answer. Okay. The field that we're teaching in is a practical field. We're teaching people to go out and do something in the world. And in any course that I teach, I think it's really important to engage the whole person in the learning process, not just the intellect. Intellectual knowledge is very, very important, and we want you to master that. But at the same time, if the knowledge is only intellectual, that doesn't help you become a more open, caring individual, first of all. And it's really important because the emotions and the affects, as we call them in my field, the feelings are part of what we do. We want to help people understand their feelings. We need to understand our own along the way. And even the physical body and the spiritual life are involved in in the work that we're doing. So actually, I think I want to start that one again. I have to rethink it because it's too long. Can we do it again?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Ask me the question again.
How important is it to engage the student intellectually, emotionally, and practically, and how do you do that in your program?
It's really important to engage the whole person in the learning process, not just the intellect, because intellectual knowledge, while it's extremely important, is not the end of the story. If we only understand something intellectually, that doesn't translate often into action and to a change internally in us and then consequently for the people that we're helping. So it's important to engage also the emotions and the physical person in the learning process. How do I do that? In most of my courses, I incorporate some kind of reflection that will include emotional reflection and spiritual reflection, theological reflection on the learning material. And I always like to engage the students in some kind of action, whether that is practice in the field, if they're in an internship, for example, or thinking about how they will do things differently in their work that they're engaged in at the moment. And I always try to incorporate some kind of physical element in the course, whether that's learning deep relaxation techniques or a little bit of yoga or something to help incorporate that learning into the body so that it becomes part of the person and not just in their head.
That's neat.
I don't know if that makes any sense.
It does make sense. It's very deep. What is the Fordham difference? Why should I go here?
Okay, I have to think about how I want to phrase that one. I think there are a few words that can sum up what makes Fordham unique among its peer institutions. The first thing is it's in New York City. And because of that, we have so many resources, so many opportunities for learning and engagement in the community because there are a lot of people in need in this city and in the Bronx where our campus is located. The second thing I think that makes Fordham unique is the people who are here. We really take seriously the Ignatian call to care for the whole person in our teaching and in our work together in the Grad School of Religion. And I think that people feel that difference. There's a grounding in a, yeah, I don't know what I want to say about that. I have to think about that. There's a sense of community. That's, I think, what I want to say. There's a sense of community here where people feel connected because they're committed to a common goal. And that goal is the service of other people in the world. And we're all committed to that, whether we're in religious education or pastoral ministry or pastoral care and counseling or spirituality. We're united by that goal of wanting to serve the church and the world as men and women for others, as they say in the Ignatian tradition. And I think that is very real here at Fordham. It's palpable, and I think the students appreciate it.
Good. So let's do that one again, in case we can't connect those thoughts.
In case you can't chop it up properly.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what's the Fordham difference? What makes Fordham unique?
There are two things that come to mind. First of all, Fordham is New York City.
Except they didn't hear my question.
Oh yes, okay, that's right. And do you think I should put the Ignatian thing first and the New York City thing second? Or
whatever you feel. What would you tell a real person?
What do I tell a real person? I tell them it's in New York.
Then tell them it's in New York.
That's it. Okay. Okay.
So what makes Fordham unique?
I think there are a couple of things that make Fordham unique among its peers. First of all, it's in New York City, which means we have a tremendous array of resources here. There are so many opportunities for service, for internships, for placements. There are many people in need in the community around Fordham, and so New York City is at your feet, along with all of its benefits. I think the other thing that makes Fordham, and particularly the Graduate School of Religion, unique is our commitment to service. So we take seriously here the Ignatian call to be men and women for others and to care for the whole person. So we hope in our education of our students, whether they're in pastoral care and counseling, religious education, spirituality, or pastoral ministry, that we're creating an atmosphere, a community, in which people share this common goal, that we really want to be of service to the world. And that feeling of community is something shared among the students and the faculty and the staff here, and I think it makes us really different. Perfect. Ashley's nodding.
I'd come here.
How important is cura personalis in how a student is educated in a program at Fordham?
I kind of said that, but okay, I'll say it again. What's the word that I'm looking for? I can't think of this one.
How do you teach people to transform their communities?
I hope that in all the programs that we offer at the Graduate School of Religion and Religious Education, we're teaching people to transform their communities. We're giving them not only very rigorous intellectual education, but a practical education. And we try and help students reflect upon that intellectual knowledge, the academic learning that they're doing, in terms of how they can use that in the various ministries and types of work that they're doing to make something different happen. So in pastoral care and counseling in particular, our work is to help people transform their lives. It's to help heal and encourage the healing and transformation of suffering. So we do that by engaging the whole person in the learning process and helping them to think about exactly what they will do differently when they finish a particular course, when they learn some particular material? How is this going to affect what you're doing today in your life? And I think that that kind of training, people come out of here with an attitude that part of my role is to transform the community that I am in. And they feel equipped to do that.
Cool.
I want to switch SD cards.